to a bright and early morning in some parts of the world where we are about to watch another day of Pro League. And I just realized the date in my stream title thing is wrong. It is July 17th, at least where I live, and also in Korea. And there's a dude standing on the stage. Is this gonna be like some weekly MVP thingamajig? I don't think so. Didn't we already do that for this week? Whatever it is, it's talking very seriously. What could it be? Let me up the volume so Kat can tell us.
인생을 이제 뒤로하고 새로운 길을 걷기 위해서 오늘 새로운 출발을 준비를 하고 있습니다. 그래서 오늘 서지 선수의 은퇴를 기념하는 그런 시간을 한번 마련해봤는데요. 먼저 화면을 통해서 서지 선수를 만나보겠습니다.
Yes, I completely agree with everything you just said, sir. What fantastic commentary on the meaning of life. Wait, was he just announcing Tallest Girl's retirement? Are we having like a farewell Tallest Girl thing? Aww.
That you settle down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you.
현재까지 객관적인 전력으로 남성 프로게이머, 여성 프로게이머는 전력의 차이가 난다는 것이 뭐 일반적인 견해이기 때문에 박재훈 선수
객관적인 지표라든지 여러 가지 면을 놓고 봤을 때는 남성 게이머가 한수 위에 있다는 건 분명히 사실이거든요.
Hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it.
여성 최강인데 남성의 벽을 한번 넘으려고 나온 중입니다.
정말로 남성 프로게이머 못지 않아요. 좀 하는 거 보면.
자신은 얼마큼 있습니까?
전 뭐든지 자신 있게 경기해요.
뭐든지 자신 있게 경기를 이끈다는 서지 선수까지 만나봤습니다.
Nothing but the best of you do. Don't forget me. I think I remember you saying sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead.
네, 화면을 통해서 만나봤던 이 서지수 선수를 이제 직접 만나보겠습니다. 여러분의 박수와 함께 무대로 모시겠습니다. 네, 벌써부터 굉장히 좀 눈물을 보이는 그런 모습인데, 사실 10년이라는 그 시간이 굉장히 짧지 않은 시간입니다. 그동안 좀 많은 노력을 했었고, 그 시도한 것에서 결실을 얻은 것도 있고, 좀 아쉽게 놓친 것도 있고, 많은 생각들이 있을 것 같은데, 글쎄요, 어떤 생각이 가장 먼저 드나요, 지금?
그동안 사랑해주셨던 팬들하고 그리고 저희 팀원들이랑 감독님.
네. 특히나 사실 많은 팬 여러분들께서 서지 선수의 플레이에 굉장히 기쁨도 했었고, 항상 응원해주신 분들도 굉장히 많고, 여러 가지 즐거운 순간들도 굉장히 많이 남았을 텐데, 글쎄요, 기억 남았던 순간 중에 딱 어떤 순간을 떠올리자면 떠오르는 순간들이 있을까요?
너무 많아서 한 가지 딱 떠오르진 않지만, 제가 도전했을 때, 비록 예선은 못 들었지만 남자 선수들 합격시켰을 때 그때가 제일 생각나요.
네, 말씀하신 것처럼 사실 4대 천왕이라 불렀던 그런 선수 중에서 일단 그 두 명의 선수를 또 잡아내면서 많은 팬들에게 역시 서지 선수의 그 실력까지도 서지 선수라는 그 이름을 또 알리는데 크게 역할을 했던 것 같은데, 사실 그 플레이뿐만 아니라 서지 선수의 그 모든 이 행보 자체가 굉장히 의미가 있었거든요. 특히나 많은 분들께서 여성 희망 리더 20인으로 꼽혔을 때 또 e스포츠 내에서도 정말 큰 역할을 하고 있다라는 그런 느낌을 많이 받았었어요. 네, 그런 느낌 속에서 많은 분들이 또 응원을 해주셨는데, 오늘 또 우리가 서지 선수의 은퇴식을 위해서 또 많은 분들께서 이 자리에 함께하고 계시거든요. 팬 여러분에게도 한 말씀 좀 부탁드릴까요?
끝까지 응원해주시고 사랑해주셔서 너무 감사합니다.
네. 오늘 뭐 지금 이 무대 위에서 이렇게 보면은 뭐 함께 동거동로 같이 했었던 그 소울의 선수들의 모습도 보이고 8개임단의 선수들 모습도 보이고 굉장히 그 많은 분들의 그런 모습들이 그 눈에 아른거려서 처음 들어오자마자 그 눈물을 좀 짓는 그런 모습이었는데 사실 그 10년간의 그 시간 동안 기쁜 일들도 굉장히 많았을 것 같거든요. 가장 머릿속에 떠오르는 그런 기쁜 순간이 있다면 뭐가 있을까요?
제가 그냥 팬들께서 제가 좌절하더라도 끝까지 응원해주시는 그런 글들 같은 거 보고 이렇게 끝까지 사랑해주시는 거 봤을 때가 제일 즐거웠던 것 같아요.
팬들의 그런 이야기들이 가장 큰 힘이 됐다라는 그런 말씀이신데 사실 앞으로의 그 길에 대해서 궁금해하시는 분들이 좀 많거든요. 그러니까 지금 서희 선수가 그 프로게이머의 그 10년의 시간은 이제 마감은 뭐 직군은 있습니다만 일단 앞으로의 그 새로운 행보에 대해서 많은 분들께서 서희 선수를 응원해 주시기 위해서 어떻게 응원할 수 있을까라고 생각하시는 분들이 있을 것 같아요.
앞으로는 제 동생이 연기자인데 같이 쇼핑몰을 하기로 했거든요. 제가 사랑하는 제 닉네임을 따서 토스걸이라는 닉네임을 따서 토스쇼핑몰을 하기로 했고 지금은 대표로서 정말 집중을 하겠지만 그래도 e스포츠를 너무 사랑하기 때문에 언젠간 e스포츠로 돌아오고 더 활동을 할 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
네. 아이들은 이제 사업가로서의 그 새로운 변신 뭐 이런 것까지 하면 신경 쓰는 그런 모습입니다. 오늘 앞에 계신 분들도 뭐 서희 선수 여제 그의 태란을 잊지 못할 것이다 라는 얘기도 해주셨고 또 많은 분들께서 이제 치어풀로 그리고 지켜보는 그런 모습으로 지금 서희 선수를 굉장히 응원해 주신 것 같은데요. 오늘 특히나 그동안 함께했던 그 STX Set에서 오늘 그 서희 선수를 위해서 이제 또 공로패를 준비했다라는 이야기를 들었거든요. 그러면 바로 오늘 공로패와 함께 선수를 잠깐 무대로 모실까요? 어디 계실까요? 네. 네, 이영석 사무국장님과 김민기 감독님도 지금 자리하고 계시고요. STX Set의 선수들이 있는데요. 그래서 오늘 공로패가 전달이 되고 있습니다. 여러분들 박수 부탁드릴까요? 네. 네, 공로패의 내용은요. STX Set 프로게임단 선수로서 보여준 끝없는 도전과 열정에 깊은 감사를 드리면서 그 공을 높이 지하여 2패를 드립니다. 2012년 7월 17일 STX Set 프로게임단 단장 문영종. 함께 또 뭐 같이 자리 함께 해주시고요. 네. 네, 서희 선수가 어떻게 보면은 소울의 팀원으로서도 이제 많은 역할을 많이 해주고 좋은 모습들을 많이 보여준 것으로 알고 있는데 함께 있었던 그런 분들이 이제 뒤에 딱 자리를 하고 있습니다. 자, 그런데 지금 이 무대에 설 수 있는 이 순간도 어떻게 보면은 이제 마지막이 될 것 같습니다. 지난 10년 동안 이제 프로게이머로서 걸어온 길, 이제는 진짜 마지막 순간이거든요. 이제 프로게이머로서 이야기할 수 있는 것도 지금 정말 마지막 순간인데요. 그 마지막 순간 어떻게 보면은 지금 남기는 말이 이제 프로게이머 서지수라는 그런 이유로서는 이제 마지막이 된 셈인데 그러면 그 마지막 순간 함께 해주신 팬 여러분들과 그리고 계속 동고동락했던 바로 그 동료들 그리고 응원해 주셨던 많은 팬 여러분들께 남길 수 있는 그런 말이 있다면 어떤 말이 있을까요? 마지막 한 말씀 부탁드릴까요?
정말 10년 동안 정말 적지 않은 시간인데 이렇게 끝까지 응원해 주셔서 정말 감사드리고요. 이렇게 마지막까지 이렇게 은퇴를 이렇게 기념해 주시려고 같이 이렇게 오셔서 너무 감사드립니다. 그리고 제가 가까이서 봐서 알지만 저희 팀원들 정말 많이 고생하고 그런 거 알기 때문에 정말 저희 STX Set도 많이 응원해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
여러분들 박수로 서희 선수 응원해 주시길 부탁드리겠습니다. 자, 서희 선수가 프로게이머로서는 오늘 이렇게 무대에 서는 순간이 좀 마지막이 될 수 있겠습니다만 앞으로의 그 서희 선수의 길도 여러분들 계속해서 응원해 주실 거라고 저도 생각을 하고요. 앞으로의 그 서희 선수의 그 행보 저도 박수로서 같이 응원하도록 하겠습니다. 마지막으로 서희 선수에게 큰 응원의 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 제가 개인적으로도 뭐 서희 선수의 이 경기를 뭐 저도 중계를 한번 해봤었는데 그때 그 중계한 그 느낌 계속 가지면서 앞으로도 서희 선수를 응원하도록 하겠습니다. 앞으로도 더 좋은 모습으로 서희 선수가 계속해서 앞에의 길을 걷기를 바라면서 오늘 서지수 선수의 은퇴식을 모두 마치도록 하겠습니다. 자, 끝으로 오늘 뭐 함께 해주신 팬 여러분께 다시 한번 감사의 말씀 드리고요. 오늘 그 경기 시간 같이 양해해 주신 제8게임단 여러분에게도 다시 한번 감사의 말씀 전하도록 하겠습니다. 저는 잠시 후에 제8게임단과 STX 서울의 경기로 다시 돌아오겠습니다. 끝으로 다시 한번 큰 박수로 서지수 선수의 앞길을 축하해 주시길 부탁드리겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
Well, the pressure's on now, STX. They've got to win today, right? They've got to win. It's Toss Girl's last match, I guess, as part of STX. She's wearing the jacket. STX, you got to do it. Normally I'd be rooting for Team 8. But not today. Not today. This is a special occasion. Now we have some pump-up, like a pump-up thing, just to help transition from sad ceremony into regular PL. And here we go, back into regular Pro League. STX Seoul. Gotta give a good send-off to the Empress.
네, 시청자 여러분 안녕하십니까. STX와 함께하는 스타크래프트 2 프로리그 시즌 2에 오신 여러분을 환영합니다. 캐스터 성승원입니다. 오늘 좋은 말씀 역시 김정민, 유대현 두 분과 함께합니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
안녕하십니까.
안녕하세요.
자, 오늘 경기 시작되는 게 서희 선수의 은퇴식과 함께했는데 사실 두 분도 여러 가지 느낌들이
Alright.
있을 것 같아요. 네.
And the commentators are all spruced up, wearing their pink shirts, ready to get this going. I still want to know how they choose whether to wear the pink or blue. Do they just like switch randomly? Actually, wait, is it one set of the casters always wear pink, the other set always wear blue? I just noticed this. This might be what's going on here. I need to pick a color. Like if I go to OGN, I gotta pick. Do I want to be pink or do I want to be blue? I think I'm gonna go with the pink shirts. I think I'll have to go with the pink shirts here. Those things look pretty awesome, especially with that tie. Loving the tie.
자, 오늘 경기 8게임단과 STX 서울이 기다리고 있습니다. 오늘 양 팀의 경기 그 흐름 자체가 오늘 약간이 좀 교차되고 있는 그런 상황이거든요. 어떤 모습으로 경기를 준비하고 있을지 팀과 선수들을 만나보겠습니다.
Alright, so going into the game. Oh, and note, just to avoid any confusion, note that was hypothetical. I'm not actually going to OGN. that was just in my fantasies of going to Korea. I would pick the pink shirt. It would be like in the Matrix, you know. I get there, and then the head Kespa guy comes up to me, and in one hand he's like holding the pink shirt, the other hand's got the blue shirt. It's like, choose pink or blue. Yeah. Anyway.
네, 정말 딱 잘 만났다 이런 얘기를 드릴 수밖에 없는 게 연승 브레이커 이런 느낌의 STX 서울이거든요. 상대가 연승이고 잘 나간다 싶으면 그냥 득점을 달려서 딱 그 연승을 끊어주는 그런 STX 서울의 최근 분위기가 또 있었기 때문에 오늘 상대방이 연승이라면
STX versus Team 8. I had something else really interesting to say about this match, but I can't remember what it was. So instead what I'll say is that after this, if you did not know, then there is going to be a match of epic proportions. It is going to be the Flash versus Fantasy OSL semifinals, the other semifinal to determine who is going to face Jangbi in the finals. It's going to be FVF, and it's going to be awesome. I am going to cast it live. Sorry, I took the day off work just for this. It's going to be super sweet. So do stick around after the Pro League match today for that. And looks like first person up is going to be Baby. So I would like to quickly make a note. People have so many people. By the way, big hearts to all you guys like supporting me. Like, yeah, Sayle, go cast for OGN. Yes, thank you all so much. A lot of people on Reddit were also very, very kind, so that's awesome. But I don't need donations or anything like that. Like, don't anybody, please don't go crazy and like set up some chip-in thing or anything. I don't need anything like that. It's not a matter of money, me going to Korea. It's just a matter of like, do OGN want me or not? Because it would be so pointless to like, you know, raise a bunch of money and have me, you know, for me to go there, but they don't even want me to cast. Like, the #1 step is for OGN to be like, oh, you know, we will consider having him cast, and then we can think about the logistics. Like, donating money is just so pointless at this point. So with that, team #1, a TVP on Electric, or sorry, on Jade rather. And I'm trying to get, okay, there we go. Sorry, I lost control of my overlay for a second, that was a little bit weird. But we have none other than Baby versus Deer. Now this should actually be quite a good match. Baby is, of course, probably the second best player on Team 8 behind Jaedong in terms of Brood War skill. And Deer, on the other hand, while he's kind of a mediocre player overall, he is basically a PvT specialist, to the point where he actually stopped Flash's ridiculous win streak in last season's Pro League. So I'd expect a pretty good PvT from him. And I'm pretty pumped for this. I'm still a little bit freaked out by my overlay though. I feel like everything is slightly off size or something. For some reason XSplit just deleted the scene that had all my overlay stuff, like this little blue thing here and like the text. So I had to like redo it right before the cast today. I'm not quite sure if it's the same as before, but as long as it looks okay, then that's fine. So yeah, I don't know what we're waiting for now. I guess the camera guy is just letting us look at those awesome pink shirts for a little bit longer while commentators talk about something. You know, I'm always curious about what they talk about in these like beginning of the match things. I don't know, maybe they're like analyzing the teams or something, or I guess I can try that. Alright, let me have a look. Alright, what's interesting to say? Oh, it looks like I don't need to because we're starting. Yes, perfect. Actually, well, what I could talk about is in the match between these two teams in round 1. It actually was a pretty awesome series. It went the full 7 games, and STX actually took the ace match where Trap took out Jaedong. So that was very interesting. Yeah, and I hope we have a nice long series again today, because of course there will be quite a bit of time between now and when OSL starts. I believe it's scheduled to start like 4.5 hours from now or something. So there'll probably be quite a bit of time I'll have to fill in between this match and when OSL starts. So the longer the match, the better. And yes, I will probably do some laddering or something in between there. We'll figure something out. I'll find some way to entertain you guys that is child friendly. Anyway, Baby will be spawning as the purple Terran in the top right, and Deer will be the red Protoss in the bottom left. So we're gonna have a cross map PBT on Jade. So I think that will lend itself to a nice long game here. I think that is slightly better for the Protoss, or, well, not really better, but that does kind of reduce the chance of any crazy 2-base all-ins or sick timing pushes in the mid-game, because obviously you do have to push cross-map. It is a further distance, but more importantly than that, I think, is that it's a very wide open map in the middle on Jade, so to push cross-map would be quite difficult for the Terran against the Protoss. Whereas if they were close positions, he could kind of hug the edge of the map a little bit more. Yeah, so most likely going to go to a longer game. And alright. Yeah, you go white guy. They always have white people in the crowd now. It's like it's not even a thing anymore. It's standard. Oh, is this a... Oh, look at this. Very interesting. We have a forward gateway here from Deer. So we're gonna start putting on some pressure. Yeah, toss girl fighting. Whoa. Wait. Oh man, you done goofed. You done goofed. Did you see that? That person had another cheerful behind the first one, and then for some reason like they took down the second cheerful. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be take down the front cheerful and then show the second one. And that person just completely dropped the ball there. Wow. I mean, and I thought, you know, the KT fans holding the KT sign upside down was bad, but that was like... That was pretty fail. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fail. And we actually have a command center first from last, but instead of putting it as his expansion, he's putting it at his wall. This is actually quite awesome. Now he's gonna wall with the barracks as well, right? Oh, that is so cool. Oh man, this is genius. Wow. Wow, I'm so impressed by this because look at this. Oh man, my mind is blown right now. Okay, here's the deal. See, fast expanding on this map is actually super popular. Last season in Pro League, we actually saw lots of craziness where it was like 14cc, 12 nexing all day. C actually got killed a number of times by Protoss just proxy raxing him, or sorry, by proxy gating him when he just went 1 rax CC, but... See, Deer knew that the tendency on this map is to be greedy and to fast expand. So he built the forward gateway in order to put on pressure on a Terran who's going fast expand, like either a command center first or a 1 rax expand. You put on a lot of pressure. But look at these, he's hiding his zealots. He's gonna wait for the command center to lift, and then he's gonna go in. Oh wow. Wow, really smart move by Deer as well. He knows if the zealots go in now, it's gonna be pointless because that is a complete wall against zealots. So the Marines will just come out on the inside and the Zealots won't be able to do anything. So he's going to wait for the command center to lift off and reposition at the natural to move his Zealots in. But actually a bunker is already going up here. Looks like Baby just preemptively making the bunker feels that something suspicious is going on here. I'm not sure why he thought that. I don't think the probe was that early in getting to his base. So that is quite interesting from him as well. But now 2 Zealots going to come in here, a Dragoon as well. Thing is, if the command center lifts, the Zealots and Dragoon can actually just run by into the main, and that'd be super annoying. But oh, he actually reveals his Zealots. I think that was a mistake here. I think he really should have waited for that command center to lift. I guess he just couldn't be bothered. He's like, well, you know, Baby's not actually lifting command center, so let me just poke him a little bit. But a 2-fact follow-up behind this. That is actually fairly normal after a command center first build. But the interesting thing about this is that the command center hasn't actually repositioned into the natural, so it's essentially just 1 base still. So he went 14cc, and he's like, well, let me make a wall with this. You know what? He was in the team house thinking, he's like, these damn Protoss players keep breaking down my walls. How can I make stronger walls? I mean, the barracks has 1000 HP, right? What building has more HP than a barracks? And then all of a sudden, like, the light bulb goes off over his head, and then he's like, command centers have 1500 hit points. If I use a command center to wall myself in, it'll be an even stronger wall. That's right. Just metagaming hardcore right now. Could you imagine? Just think about it, right? In StarCraft 2, all those Terrans, instead of walling with a barracks and an engineering bay or a supply depot, right? Those things die to Baneling Bust, man. You can Baneling Bust that shit. Even if you wall in with barracks, you can get Baneling Busted. But imagine if you walled in with 3 command centers. Banelings are not going to kill you, man. You won't die. You will not die to Banelings. Think about it. So anyway, looks like Goon range is finished. He's going to start poking this bunker. There's 3 SCVs there, and that's fine. I like that wall, actually. He's actually walled that in completely with 2 depots behind. That's pretty smart, because as you can see, the ramp is kind of... like, the barracks is blocking... Oh, shit. No! The barracks is blocking the bottom there. So he didn't want to risk any Zealot Dragoon run by into the main base. So just walling that in. Anyway, it looks like the pressure's off now. Nothing actually died. So, yeah, we missed a little bit of the game. But basically, he put on some pressure. The first tanks were out, so the Dragoons couldn't do any damage. So Deer pulls back and takes a third. That's a very, very common response. Yeah, so far I'm using this game. After that, crazy wall off is fairly standard. Anyway, looks like, ooh, 2 extra factories going down to the natural. That's very interesting. There's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, it kind of fakes out the Protoss, so the Observer obviously will most likely go into the main. Well, actually, now he's just going to follow the push here. But if the Observer went into the main, he would see only 2 factories initially. So, you know, depending on exactly where the Observer went, might not realize that there were 2 factories of the natural. I mean, it most likely would scout it eventually anyway, but just delaying that scout a little bit. That also helps against like recalls into the main and stuff, to have those 2 factors at the natural, so later on that will actually be useful. But you know, it's funny because in the beginning of the game I was saying that it'd be difficult for Terran to go for like a mid-game timing here, but that's exactly what Baby's doing. And the reason is this is working is of course because he did get that early advantage by going 14 CC without actually taking much damage, and also because Deer did commit to the forward gateway. He did commit to actually making a number of zealots and putting on pressure. And at this point in the game, slow zealots are actually relatively useless. You can kind of run them up and clear mines, but they're just very, very slow. But if you get the shuttle, now this is actually where they become useful. You need the shuttle, and with these bombs, this could actually be quite bad for Baby. He needs to unsiege these tanks. Oh man, the Marines and Vultures were actually not in position, so actually turning those Zealots into something awesome here. Only 2 tanks remaining, and this push I think is going to go down quite easily. Well, actually, no, he's going to snipe the 2 siege tanks. There's no more tanks in the back. Actually, no, 2 tanks down here at the 3rd. Never mind, I'm sorry. Still have 2 tanks down here at the 3rd. And sieging this down, getting a bunker as well. So nice move there to pick off some of those tanks. I think Baby spread himself out a little bit too thin. But the Zealots were already used. I don't actually know what happened to the shuttle. I assume the shuttle's still alive. There were a number of Marines there, but I think the shuttle's still alive. He's going to need that shuttle to continue to bomb these tanks, because with such a good position there's no way that pure Dragoon is going to break that. So Deer, you can see on his face, he knows he's in a little bit of trouble here, just kind of dying to this, you know, very aggressive 2-base pressure from the Terran. I think he just has to give up his 3rd base. I don't really see how he can save this, and he's just taking unnecessary damage here. Like, he's losing probes, he's taking damage to his units. I really don't see why he's not just abandoning his base completely and just saving his units. Like, he's just taking free sea shots right here. I'm not really sure what he's doing. I mean, he's clearing the space outside of his natural from spider mines right now, but why is he just standing in range of these tanks? Like, he just lost that Zealot for free. I don't know, but I like this move by him to kind of somewhat counterattack with the Dragoons. Baby's units, since they did swing down so far to attack the 3rd, as you can see, like, they couldn't defend that reinforcement path. So now reinforcements are cut off. So even though Baby has this really nice position here, since he can't reinforce it, eventually the Protoss will have enough units to just break it. And it looks like a couple of Zealots running in here just to clear some mines. They do get a hit off on the siege tank. I don't know if that was... I want to say that was intentional, but that's a bit of a strange move there, especially you have the Zealots clumped up like that. If you do want to suicide Zealots like that, you should at least space them just far enough so that Siege Splash doesn't hit both of them. But he had them just walking right next to each other. So I feel like either that was a mistake or he just, I don't know, wasn't doing it quite properly. But either way, looks like he's got quite a few gateways now, as well as the Citadel, most likely getting Zealot legs already. That would be quite useful in breaking this. Notice, by the way, oh, hold that thought, looks like we might have some big Zealot bombs here. Now he's going for the break. The shuttle goes down, one more Zealot does go in the middle, but actually, he doesn't get enough Zealots down, and he doesn't have enough units backing this up. I do not think he should engage here. Oh my god. Wow. Nice target firing by Baby there. I'm fairly certain he manually targeted the Central Dragoon there. Popped all of them at once. That is one of those little micro things that pro gamers do, but you know, a lot of people don't even realize that they do. Pro gamers were like a lot of, you know, Terran players, they'll just siege up and lay mines and stuff and then not micro the army at all, because you think, well, you know, these units, they don't even move, like what is there to micro? But actually, pro gamers, if you look at their first person view, they'll actually often just manually target, like right click their siege tanks onto like the center Dragoons to maximize splash damage. It's a very, very good good technique there. One small thing I wanted to point out, well, besides the fact that Deer is basically dead now, but one thing I wanted to point out earlier was the fact that if you looked at the Protoss base, his gateways were placed very haphazardly, and you know, while some programmers obviously have much better building gateway placement than others, aka Harangi. GG from Deer. But yeah, that gateway placement I think was particularly bad, because that's one of those artifacts of when you're getting pushed and you're just panicking and you're just like, oh my god, I need more gateways right now, so you just kind of throw down gateways wherever you can without actually thinking about your building placement. just to get enough, get enough units to hold off the attack. But that's the kind of thing that actually hurts you a little bit later on, because then when you go to the late game, usually you have like a set way that your base is laid out, but since you messed it up in the early game, oftentimes that can actually disrupt your macro a little bit as well. So it's just like a little thing.